Hey, this is Shaw TV's Kevin Hirschfield. We want to make you aware of an exhibit on display at the Millenium Library this summer in Winnipeg. It is called Anne Frank, A History for Today. Many of us may be aware of the young girl's story during World War II. This exhibit will tell us all that and much more. Teresa Lomas from the Millenium Library joins us to talk about it. Teresa, first of all, for those of us who may not be familiar with Anne Frank's story, what is it all about and what's her significance in history, basically?
Her significance is that she was a young girl who was in hiding in the Netherlands, in Amsterdam, for 2 years during World War II. So she wrote she wrote this diary that now is really personalizing the story of what happened in the Holocaust, and it really resonates with people. It's just such a poignant story, and it's just amazing to have that record of what happened in the Holocaust. So I think people all over the world, can really relate to that story, and it just really personalizes what happened in that time.
Yeah, the exhibit on display at the library here, it's been all around the world. It's been shown in 60 countries. For the first time here in Manitoba, actually. It comes from the Anne Frank House in the Netherlands, which is where she wrote all her journal entries from. When people come here, though, to see the exhibit, what are they going to see?
What they're going to see are 37 panels, and the panels are bilingual. The way the panels are set up, every second panel talks about Anne Frank and her story, and then every alternate panel kind of juxtaposes her story with the context of what was going on historically at the time in terms of, the Holocaust and the war and that kind of thing. So it really provides some good background to the story for people that might want, we actually had somebody in last week looking at the display who said, I thought I knew everything there was to know about Anne Frank and the Holocaust, and I learned things that I didn't know by walking through this exhibit, and she was just thrilled about that. So that was really great to hear. There's also 3 panels at the end which talk about Canadian soldiers' contributions to the Second World War. So that kind of gives a Canadian slant to it as well. I should mention that people can come in and just do a self-guided tour on their own if they like. People can also come in and do tours with tour guides. Now, Julie Couture, who is the Canadian Projects Coordinator of Anne Frank House, she was actually in to help us officially launch the exhibit, and she also did training with staff to show them how to be tour guides. She spent a full day showing them that. So if anybody's interested in actually coming to a guided tour, they can just look at dates and times on wpl.winnipeg.ca.
Okay, what would you say the goal of the exhibit is? When people come here, what do you want them leaving thinking about?
I think it's just great for people to come, and if it can inspire sort of dialogue and discussion and conversation and just people reflecting on what happened, and just the fact that, people need to be tolerant, and just this story shows the dangers of discrimination, and we want people to just reflect on this story when they leave and hopefully learn something they didn't know before. We know that a lot of people that will visit the exhibit are already familiar with Anne Frank's story and will learn more. We also know that there's some people who will be coming that aren't familiar with the story and will, discover it for the first time. So we're just really wanting to create awareness, and, it's a world-class display, so we're really, thrilled that it's in Manitoba for the first time.
Okay, great. And how long does the exhibit run for?
It runs until September 3rd, so people still have a great opportunity to come down and see the exhibit.
Great stuff, Teresa. Thanks so much for the time. The exhibit is Anne Frank, A History for Today.